shit. Helps if I name my streams correctly before I hit go. Okay. Oh, you guys can send me. You should be an ad though. That has been Scuffy. Scuffy McScufferson, but we're getting set up and letting ads roll. And then we will go into the photography panel. This will be my last Life of a Cosplayer episode of the year. But that's okay. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but them's the breaks, isn't it? So we finished watching the international comps for WCC. A little bummed out that the streaming was kind of atrocious. Tech was doing their best, but they were definitely not Ethernetted in, and rough. I don't know. I think they were on the same Wi-Fi, like the convention Wi-Fi, and it was just bad. Or there's a storm coming in, and it's messing with the internet even worse. So that was kind of the only disappointment, but I at least got it captured. A capture of a capture. So that way friends who competed today will have something to review, even if it's not, even if the frame rates are atrocious. They'll have something as they wait for results for tomorrow. It was a stiff competition. I do think it's going to come down to techniques used, including stage work, as well as most memorable story. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be rough. It's going to be really, really, really rough. I do not envy those judges. I would. It would be really cool to judge performance, but ooh, those choices. And it's going to be who was basically flawless, which is I think the hardest choice. Oh, Constance did a cut down. So, all right, welcome in everyone. Thank you for watching ads. We want to save that video. Um, I want to be able to there to stay. Oh, I'm everyone's finally getting out. Um, uh, Where's the ampersand? All right. I'll try and get off social media here in a second. Just making sure everyone who uh, needed the video knows where to get the video. But I Lunke. Okay. We are now here. We are now going live. Live. Make my eyes not hearts. There we go. So. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for taking that break with me. Oh, I thank you, Lanket. Taking that break with me. So we are starting a little bit early just to get kind of the momentum back and me just processing sitting for like 4 hours, an hour and a half of it, just going, do something, WCC, do something. I already had dinner. I ate. I had delicious pizza. It's been a crazy day. Um, so I know everyone was kind of sitting on pins and needles the whole time until WCC went live, and I mean they were like filling the stadium too, the room. So that also didn't help, I think. Um, so it was just all compounded. Pepperoni. I'm a pep girl. Give me so mom doesn't like tomato sauce actually makes mom's tummy upset and she doesn't like the crust. So what we do usually is um we do easy red sauce, cheese and pepperoni. I'm pretty basic. Like I'm gonna be honest, I'm really basic. Basic classic pepperoni. Yep. It's the right amount of crispiness and oil and spiciness. What? What? Blue cheese on pizza? Okay, I might accept that. But what are you doing with the blue cheese though? Like, is it just blue cheese crumbles? Like on a white pizza? I could see blue cheese on a white pizza. Like, give me a good like New York style white pizza. I know it's blasphemy, but man, that stuff is good. I could see blue cheese on that. But it needs like some Gouda, and maybe brie with it. Like, it won't turn that. That's not. It's going to turn into a not pizza, but it will still be cheese on bread and delicious. Let me get the questions pulled up because I'll be interviewing. All right. Okay. All right. So I don't think Constance has gotten any extra questions about photography. So I have 10 questions, and then we're gonna see a live demo on Lightroom. So that's basically the goal today, is kind of get us educated on Lightroom, what it can do, the perks of it, photography, how easy it is to start to point and click, as well as the process. Um, we got about 7 minutes before it's start time. So, but I'll let Constance introduce herself. I've known Constance now, God, over 15 years. I met her through the local cosplay circle when she was still being educated while I was being educated in normal school. And she let me borrow her stop sign for a Durarara shoot. And I think that was 2012. 2012. I was no longer working. I think I was working for the mouse. So because I was picking up I was bringing her on the bus because I was not driving at the time, the stop sign to pick up at the at that at before I went to work. Because I was like, I cannot bring the stop sign with me into to the mouse land. Um, and I know it was a summer shoot, and I think it was 2012. So I have now, so it's 2025. Yeah, over 13 years. Is that math right? I'll see if Constance can remember. Yeah. Um, we're not starting sooner than scheduled, Constance. I just started yapping. She can hear me. She's off to the side here. um, I just wanted to get ads out of the way and get everything set up. But yeah, so I have known her for quite a bit. She always intimidated me because she was so good at what she does. So not only is she really good at sewing and cosplay, but also really good at photography and doll work, like hobby photography. Her ability to capture and utilize light is absolutely amazing. Um, it wasn't until I think the pandemic, uh, and she started posting more, and I was just being like, I know I'm a little creeper, and I know we have tangentially met, and I work with you during conventions, but I really like your photography and dolls. Um, and then we've really bonded over the last, I would say, now almost 6 years. Um, so yeah, they're a super super duper close friend, and I'm really thankful. Their significant other is also a good friend and photographer. I don't think they will be joining, but I'll ask Constance when she comes back from wherever she has gotten to the abyss. Um, but he's also back when I was really into cosplay, like really into cosplay. Getting photos from him was like, oh, and he used apparently when we were talking, thinking back on like what his equipment was, he's like, that's crap. Like back in the day, I was like, but the photos came so good. Um, so his name is Spooky Electric, and yeah, his ability to actually tell story through light and do like cosplay sets and stuff. He was one of the first to actually start doing it, and then he got busy with day job, and doesn't do it as much anymore. But his like his water photography, oof, I love it. I love it. So, all right, I'm gonna pull her out of the shadows. Constance, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, I'm gonna turn your sound on. We got 2 minutes till showtime, so you can sit with
Okay.
me. I was just warming them
Sounds
up for
good.
you. Constance!
Hello, can people hear me?
They should. I gotta turn your Fugi on though. Fugi, 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 Fugi. Fugi, 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 Fugi. Where the heck did I put you? Why am I like this? Why do I have so many things? Where the fuck? There it is. Okay. There we go. I got your Fugi there.
Yay! Does it work?
Yes, you are lighting up. Ah, and apparently the coffee machine needs to be turned on because Lanke wants some sort of coffee. So let's go to the magic coffee machine and put in an order. All right. What do you get? Dun 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 dun. Matcha. You get a regular matcha. So, anyways, I was just regaling them the time in which you brought a stop sign to a shoot and then disappeared on me, and then I had to lug around a stop sign.
Yeah, I don't actually remember this happening, but I believe you because I do own a stop sign.
You know, it was just stressful having the stop sign for so long.
You were stressed, but I just had extra space in my garage because you had it, so I probably was not thinking about it.
No, until you were like, I need my stop sign back. I'm like, good, please take it.
I don't know that I ever needed the stop sign back for anything.
No, I think you just wanted it back because it was your stop sign.
What's funny is that that stop sign is still in my mom's garage, and her new car is a Prius, and it has computer vision. So when she pulls into the garage, there will be a giant stop
Oh
icon on her
no.
dashboard because the stop sign is there, and it thinks it's like a real stop sign.
That's because it is a real stop sign. Oh man. Yeah. So Constance doesn't remember this, but I also remember when Constance was working Anime Expo with me, and I had to go bully security to get her in because it was a hot mess that year.
I
Oh my
think
god.
Anime Expo is a hot mess every year. I don't know that there's ever been a year I worked there where I haven't had issues with security.
Yeah, I think it's because you were so tiny and you were Kyohime.
Yeah,
Was it Kyo?
I
Yeah.
don't think I'm even that tiny. I'm like average height. But yeah, that year, I think what was the problem? My badge, all of our badges just said cosplayer on it.
Was that
And
it? Was
for
it just
some,
cosplay? No, I
yeah,
had exhibitor too. Exhibitor cosplayer though.
Yes, some of them said exhibitor, some of them said cosplayer, and
Oh,
my
okay.
badge said cosplayer.
That's
And when
right.
I
That's
tried to
right.
go through the exhibitor entrance
Yeah.
line, they were like, "Oh, your badge doesn't have your name on it, so you can't come through." And I was like, "What?"
So I just get
Mm.
so I'm with our handler, right? Our modeling agency handler. And he looks at me and goes, "Go get her." And I'm like, "Okay." So I'm Romani, right? I think I'm Romani.
Yeah.
And I just come like stomping over and I'm like, "Let her in." And then I have to swim upstream with you
Mm-hmm.
to Anaplex
Yep.
and get you in place to do crowd control while
Mm-hmm.
I'm also help managing like the other components and all the other like stuff that was happening at con.
The crowd
Because
control was so
it
bad
was so
that
bad.
con.
Well, that was FGO's launch though, so
Yeah.
it was just intense. And then they had the
Mm-hmm.
spinning gotcha wheel, like the in person gotcha wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this was also when everyone was doing the Moonies. So you had the Moonies with Sailor Moon and Viz going on, and then you had us doing Aniplex. And I don't know, I felt kind of bad for Aniplex because they thought they had someone who knew what they were doing. And clearly
Apparently not.
the volunteer staff who weren't quote unquote the official cosplayers knew more what to do than
Mm-hmm.
the actual like hired cosplayers and the person that hired the cosplayers.
Yep.
Oh
Unfortunately.
man, yeah. So I mean, I it worked for me. I made some great industry connections during that con and like solidified myself, but also solidified that I would never want to work events like paid. So
Yeah.
as weird as that sounds, guys, um, when as soon as money exchanges hands and you're not doing it as a bartering service and they are your employer, you just can't say no. I like the freedom of going no and being like, okay, goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they become your employer, like I felt so bad for Aniplex full time staff, because that's their job. That goes on their yearly review. That does all this other stuff. They are paid to be there. So, um, I personally have a high worth ethic, and getting a free $200 badge with excessive amounts of power, was worth it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like the excessive amounts of power of an exhibitor badge.
Yeah. I definitely abused the exhibitor badge a few times to get my friend's stuff from some other booths.
Yeah. I mean, that's the perk of being an exhibitor, though. We can pre shop
Mm-hmm.
and get some limited, like that was the whole goal. And we also, if we had to skirt in for a panel or we were working the panel, we got to be able to be a part of it. So, but those days are gone now. Cosplayers get paid, which is great. Fruitcake does a lot of advocating and stuff for that side of everything, but then they also become your employer, which is kind of weird. Even if it's a contract employer, they still become your employer. So if you're thinking about cosplay businessy stuff, and you want more information on that, I know I want to get back with Fruitcake and kind of do like a breakdown on that one because it's definitely a different mindset. It's like a way different mindset. All right, are you ready, Constance?
Yes.
We give everyone from the internets to get over here in 5 minutes. Did you drop the link in the Dolly Discords?
I did not drop the link in the Discord. I only advertised on Instagram.
Do you want me to drop the link in the Dolly Discords?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to drop the link in the Dolly Discords?
No.
Wow.
I am a hermit.
Wow.
I don't talk in the Discords that much.
Yes, you do, you liar.
Not much lately.
Okay, fair. They all stalk you on Instagram, anyways. Okay. Um, Let me go back over here, grab my link. All right. Um, All right. Drop it in the mutual group one so that they know that you're doing something, and I will drop it in the other discords.
Okay, I already dropped it in
Okay.
the small group one.
Yeah. Okay, I see it. Oh man, I am so backdated with stuff. Okay. Where do I do they have for target description? I did it in the Volks one. Okay, Constance. Speed run. What is ball jointed dolls? Tell us.
So ball jointed dolls are what they sound like. They're dolls that have balls shaped joints that let them pose pretty well. Not completely like a human, but close enough. Usually they're made out of resin. Um, Nowadays, there's also a lot more options that are like ABS or PVC and cheaper options that come in blind boxes.
I
But
love
they're
those.
all pretty customizable, so people can make whatever characters they want. And they're a lot of fun.
Yes. So, how long have you been collecting your dollies?
Oh man. I
All
think I've been collecting dolls since 2007. Yeah, 2007.
right. What made you want to collect your dollies? Okay, and I have the photo. I have the screen up so they can see your dollies now.
So back in the day, there was this website called DeviantArt.
Back in the day before it got bought out by the Russians.
Yeah. And so I was on DeviantArt and I saw these stolen photos of some ball jointed dolls. And I was like, oh man, these are really cool. I want to know where these came from. So I hunted down the source of the photos, and it turned out it was this Korean ball jointed doll company called Dream of Dolls. And I got absolutely obsessed staring at all of their photos. But
Mm-hmm.
at this point, I'm like a little child with no money. And so I go to my mom and I'm like, Mom, can I have this really expensive doll? And she
So,
was like, Are you insane? Um,
wait. Okay, so this is back in 2007. Tell them how much it was.
yeah, so back then, one doll was like $600 plus like probably, I don't know, 50, $60 of shipping.
No,
And then
they had to
like
come from Korea, so it was way more than that. This is
it was a
before shipping
lot.
was cheap.
And
Yeah.
then, like, the doll comes naked too. It comes naked with no eyes, no hair, nothing. And so then you have to buy like clothes, and clothes are like $100 to $200 at that point too. And then, like, a wig for a doll is an extra 30 to $50. Eyes are an extra like 10 to $30, or maybe even 50 if you got the nicer stuff. So it was really expensive. My mom was like, "You are crazy. We'll talk about this later." And I'm pretty sure she was hoping I would forget about it because I have crazy ADHD. But I spent every single day for like an entire year just visiting this website and staring at the photos. And so a year later, my mom was like, "Oh, wow, this isn't just a phase." And so she actually got me one for my birthday. I was a very spoiled child. And so I hauled that doll everywhere. I hauled it with me to school. I went like
Oh
on the
no, you were
train
one
with
of
it, on the
those.
bus, like everywhere. And that's what made me get into taking photos too.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize you were that one.
Yeah, I made like a doll carrier for that doll out of like a mat board, the type you use for like putting up posters
Uh
and
huh.
like paintings and stuff. And I covered that in fabric, and added some straps to it and I put my doll in it. I just like brought it everywhere with me. Um, and yeah, I looked insane.
Yes. So I want y'all. So in 2007, $600 for a doll. Um, that is equivalent to like probably $1,400 with inflation. High ink, like dolls actually haven't been hit by inflation. Like the market for it is still relatively the same, I think.
Hmm.
Wigs are still like $30. Clothing is still about 100 to 200 depending on like the outfit and how complicated. If you get the super bougie like Chinese craftsmanship or Korean craftsmanship ones, or even the Japanese Korean, like the Japanese craftsmanship from the indie creators, those what are like 500.
Yeah, those could get to like 1,000 depending
Yeah,
on the auction.
yeah, depending on the yeah. So you have like a wide range of like affordable to like you are a rich person and it's clearly that you don't you need to blow your money on something. Um, that is basically like um the gambit. Um, sorry. Senpai noticed me again for streaming the watch party. um, yeah. Um, it is I ended up going through Denver Doll because their import cost was a lot cheaper because man, it was expensive. So I got my first college job and I saved up. I got you from um oh, why is her name? It's not Dream of Doll, it's the other one. The other
Doll
D.
Zone.
Doll Zone. There we go. And this is before their style like radically changed too. Like this is when they were still kind of basicy and kind of look like DoD. So Dream of Doll. And it was a tan special edition Silver Fox. My friend in New York, Devin, has it still. So she still has her you. He's boxed up
Ooh.
somewhere, but she still has him. Um, and so we both got into it at the same time. We both got the same doll when it was the limited edition. I ended up selling mine because it lived in a box in my closet and it was just kind of sad, like a little sad. Oh, the video call went funky. Why did that go funky? Is my internet going funky? Is it your
I can
internet
hear
going
you.
funky? Someone,
I don't
someone's,
know.
someone's going funky. Maybe it'll just there we go. It righted itself. I'm like, did you fall asleep? Did you fall asleep? Is that the problem? Do I need to wiggle something? Um, welcome in ink. So, yeah, and that's how I got into it. And then I sold my two doll zones because I got into cosplay. Like, I had to pick two hobbies. Like, it was either cosplay and sewing or dolls. So I chose cosplay as my money sink in my early 20s to late 20s, almost 30s. And now I'm back to dolls and cosplay because I hate myself.
It's okay. You have adult money now.
I have adult money. I just want to take really pretty photos and use them as my original characters and make cosplay dolls. Um, so that is kind of the crash course, well, of our history of dolls. Um, we're going to be mentioning a couple brands. So we have Volks. Volks is known for not only their dolls, the way their customer service. Out of all the doll companies, I think Volks has the best customer service. Um, and they treat the dolls like an investment. Basically, if your makeup gets damaged or you need a refresher or like repairs, they have dolly hospitals basically. It is expensive to ship back and forth, and you have to wait for the right time to do it, but it is something they offer, which I don't think does any other doll company do that, where you can get
Um,
your
I I think
unbananaed
Switch will
switch.
let you exchange, but only if you're in Korea. But I mean, Volks will only let you exchange if you're in Japan, so that's
Or
similar.
doing Dollplan US.
Yes, or the special events in the US, but they're only every other year.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you do end up with a banana doll, it is a nice. knowing that you need to just get your butt there and then get in line and be like, I need this fixed, or I want to do face up. And then you wait 6 months to a year for them to come back.
Hmm.
But that's the nice part. Switch is also another major brand. They're a South Korean brand. I personally like their face sculptures a lot, so I do have quite a few of them. Um, then let's see, what are the other big ones?
Lutz.
Lutz. Lutz also, though Lutz US or international does kind of proxy shipping, so they'll get other vendors and dealers on their website that they will ship to you directly, but they do operate out of Korea. Um, Denver Doll Emporium does a lot of like imports. So if you are curious about the wide range of dolls, Denver Doll is an amazing resource. Constance, can you drop the link in chat
Yeah, let me
for
pull
Denver
that
Doll?
up.
So if anyone's curious, because where I got my dolly, they no longer exist. Junkie Spot is no longer here.
Yeah, I remember Junkie Spot. They were great.
They were great. I like the contests they would run and stuff, and they would do. So it was kind of nice. Um, but Denver Doll is also just a really great resource. Generally, really awesome. I met with them at the doll convention I went to, and they were super sweet. Oh, oh wow! Some shenanigans just happened.
Oh,
Sorry, I got distracted. Kuro dropped some tea gossip about Honkai in the Discord, and I stopped while I went to go check things. Um, Hi, Kuro. I just went to go. I just saw your message. I just saw you drop some fresh hot tea. I'll have to investigate. Um, so that Constance and I both majorly do Volks. Um, I think my collection is like 50% Volks. There's just something about their quality that just strikes me. I actually have to give Constance money eventually to take one off her hands. He is so pretty. He is so pretty. Um, I also have to downsize and I have to pick and choose children, and it's really hard, guys. It's so hard.
it is really hard.
Like,
They multiply
they
so quickly.
multiply. Well, and then, of course, my mommy makes fun of me. And she goes, I count them to make sure they don't suddenly appear another one. You have two naked bodies on the floor. And I'm like, they're not naked. Okay, they're naked. They're headless. They're not real dolls yet. They're just the extra bodies I use for draping. Um, so yeah, she gets me. I need to sit during winter break and just map out how I want them to look. So I have everything I need. I just need to have mental space for um, assembling. You think dressing a doll will be easy. You would think it. It is not easy. Their arms go willy nilly, and then things don't lay right, and then they don't look right, and then the wig looks off, and then the eyeballs are scrunched in together, and it just it takes time. And now I'm whining, but okay. All right. So photography. I guess we should. I think we primed the pump enough, right, to talk about what are dolls, why is it important. I give them a little bit of our backstory, history about dolly stuff or about cosplay stuff. So, Constance, tell the peoples who you are.
Hi, I'm Constance. I'm a California-based hobby photographer. I started out taking pictures of dolls, then I moved on to taking pictures of cosplayers, and now I'm back to taking pictures of dolls. But I still take cosplay photos for friends.
Dolls don't complain about how late the pictures come back.
That's true. Or if they don't get any pictures at all, they're cool with that.
they also they also show up on time.
I don't know about that. Normally, like my doll shoots all start late because I am too slow getting them dressed and such.
They show up on time. You're the one that's running late.
Okay, that's fair. That's
The
fair.
dolls are there. They're like, okay, we're here
Hmm.
to get dressed.
Hmm.
It's not their fault their photographer is late and slow.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so first question. Kind of answered, but kind of not. When did you start using a camera to take photos?
After I got my doll, first doll in 2007, I started taking pictures of it with my family's point and shoot camera. Um, Eventually, I ended up smashing that camera while taking pictures because my doll started to fall over, and I had to make the choice between catching the doll and holding the camera. So I sacrificed the camera. The camera was like a whole $100 Canon like Elf or something like that. It was not worth very much. The doll was worth a lot more. I made my choice. But that allowed me to pick out a new camera that was a lot nicer. And so I switched to a DSLR in 2008 after smashing the point and shoot.
All right. What DSLR did you choose?
At that time, I really wanted a Canon 5D, but that was really expensive. So I ended up with a Canon 40D, which had a crop sensor, but was more within my budget of birthday money that I had scraped up through the years.
Okay. All right. So I assume the photos you have on screen are the ones you are most proud of.
Yeah, these are a collection of photos I've taken that I like. Um, I think in the doc, in our shared doc, I
Mm-hmm.
have like a few, but oh, they're all on screen, so we're good.
I was to say, like, I looked over at the screen and I looked over at the ones you picked. I'm like, those are the same.
Yep.
um, all right. Walk us through why you like each one.
Each one, that's a lot.
Yeah, this is an interview.
Oh man, that's work. You're making me work.
I
Okay. So this first one over here, this one is not a Volks doll. It's a an illusion garden doll. And this one I took under a Christmas tree. So it's like dreamy looking because it's lit only by Christmas lights on the tree. And I just like this one because I really like this doll. Honestly, I like all the photos because I just like the dolls. But that's not very helpful. Um, this second photo I shot for Halloween. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this doll's head is impaled on a sword and it's suspended in air. And that was really hard to do. There's three different threads holding up this sword. And then in the background, I have two dolls that are installed in a planter. And this photo was one of my early experiments using a flash. So it's lit from the back with a an alien bee that I stole from my partner, and from the front it's lit with a smaller flash that I also stole from my partner. And the two candles are on either side. They're not actually providing very much light at all. And my partner wants me to make the pictures bigger while talking about them. That's hard.
Hi, Spooky.
Okay, can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, next photo. This one, I was also learning to use the flash. I believe I have the flash in one hand and the camera in the other. And then I have a diffuser, a little like reflector diffuser thing, held up by a clamp to create the shadow on the left side of her face.
Oh, that's smart way to
And
use it to cast shadow like that. That's good.
yeah, so it looks like she might be standing near a window and only like part of the light is hitting her face, but really it's just like a little diffuser thing. This doll is very special. She was designed by a member of the Volks community. So Volks held a contest where fans could send in sketches that they would like to be made into a doll. And Volks chose 10 winners, and from those sketches made 10 different head sculpts. And this one came from, I believe she's a Polish collector and she goes by REDD online.
She's so
And
sweet.
she's so nice. She's an amazing painter. She paints doll face-ups. Face-ups is what we call the makeup on a doll, and she's incredible. And she designed this doll, and when I saw it, I just had to have one. So the first order period, I ordered her, got her home, and had to take pictures immediately.
Her name is Diamond.
Yes, the sculpt is named Diamond. All right. Okay, this shot I am very proud of. Everything is done in camera. I did have to combine a few shots, but there's no like generated stuff. There's no like AI whatever bullshit. This is all in the camera. So the dolls are set up in this set that my partner built for me. In the background, there's a moon hanging there that is 3D printed and it has a light inside of it
Wait, what?
to
Really?
keep it lit. Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
it's a
know
3D
that Spooky
printed
did that.
shell with the light
Oh,
inside. We have monthly photo challenges in the Volks Discord, and so the theme we had multiple themes for each month. The main theme is always a color, so the theme for this one was red, and I believe this challenge took place around Chinese New Year's. So the sub themes were rabbit, which was the animal of the year, moon, and then also money. So I combined all of these into this one shot. So the money is comes from those confetti cannons that people use for parties. Except instead of confetti, I specifically got a cannon that shot money, tiny money, and so it was really loud. I was worried the neighbors were going to complain, but we shot the cannon once, and there ended up being so much money on the floor that we just, for subsequent shots, we just picked up the money off the floor and threw it. I had my camera on a tripod, so we took multiple shots with multiple money throws. And then, so for one shot, there was like money mainly in the top of the frame. For the second shot, the main money was like on one side. And so I combined all these shots together to get this final one.
and so for people who aren't familiar with this technique, it's a very good photography trick. If you tripod and then you layer and photo bash together your shots.
Mhm.
This is actually how I did my Naruto one with I can't think of his cosplay photography name, so I won't say it. Where I was doing the duplicate and doing Rasengan. Like he did such a good job with the photo edits on that one. But same concept. Shun was there because she was Sai at the time, and so we had like
Nice.
that's one of my favorite pictures.
Nice.
Yeah, it was during the Sakura Me up at Balboa.
Mhm.
So, but yes, it is a very common technique, and this is why knowing how to use your camera is really important. Don't do AI. Don't be lazy.
Mhm.
Learn the photography skills. Okay,
The
my PSA there.
downside of like the confetti cannon is that like we keep finding tiny money everywhere. It's been like a few years since we did this shoot, and there's just random tiny money popping up
You
at
still
random
find
times.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Okay, well I can.
Mhm.
I can. It's glitter. It's money glitter.
Yes,
Glitter
it's
is
money glitter.
STD.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay,
Oh, I love
next
this one.
shot. My mom lives on a hill, and at the bottom of the hill, there's this like big grassy area, and I've been wanting to do a shoot there for ages. So at some point, I got a doll-sized horse. And I was like, oh man, I can have like my knight and my king ride this doll-sized horse through the tall grass, and they can look like they're going on an adventure. So we set this up around a little before sunset, and so we got this great golden hour light and got this shot. This was like a little unnerving to do though, because this area is right next to a major road. And so while we were shooting, this like Jeep pulls up with a bunch of teenage boys in it, and they just like are staring this whole time. And we're like, what are they staring at? Eventually, one of them sticks his head out the window and he just screams, "Fuck!" I'm not going to say the whole word,
Yeah.
but just like really loudly, and then they just drive off. And I was like, I don't know what that was about, but okay.
I mean, I want to come and take some cosplay shots at this place, but also it's near the main road, so it does make me nervous. But that tree in that background, how you frame that shot looks so good.
Yeah,
Oh,
unfortunately, this area doesn't look like this anymore.
oh no.
Some company or somebody, I don't know who, decided to illegally dump garbage at this location, and now it's fenced off.
No, that's
Yeah.
upsetting.
Yeah, so someone ruined it for us. While
Right.
we were doing this horse shoot, there were a couple of girls in the neighborhood also taking pictures in like the yellow flowers nearby.
Oh, that's sad. That's
Yeah,
ugh.
so someone
People.
ruined it for all of us.
Damn. Okay. Well, we'll find somewhere
Yep.
else, I guess.
Hmm.
Because I'm going to bring Lena and Esther, I think, to Fanime. So
Ooh, yeah, that
I
would have
definitely
been
want
good.
photos from you, at
Hmm.
least at Fanime. All right, next one.
Yeah. Okay. This one I took for Halloween. Built this set. Well, my partner built the set, and I decorated the set. And yeah, I set up a light in the front to light the scene, and there's another one actually shining through the windows in the back. And the purpose of the backlight is to act as like a separation light, so you can see the edges of her witch
Mm-hmm,
hat
mm-hmm.
here, and then that makes it clearer, easier to see what she's wearing and stuff like that. And yeah, I was really happy with my Halloween photos.
Yeah, they
I
came out really
don't
good.
usually, yeah, I don't usually get a chance to do elaborate sets.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, for this set of photos, I was visiting my mom. My mom's house has a lot more space, so I was able to spread out and get all the junk in.
Able to make everything fit.
Yep. Okay, next photo. So you'll notice that I reused this same set in a lot of photos, the window background. This doll is a Williams, and I am a Volks Williams collector. This was the newest one that was released, so I had to get him and add him to my giant army of Williams, just
I, I
20
need
of the
I
same
need
guy over and
you to
over and over.
I need you to do a photo shoot of all your Williams in like a mock, like like
Yeah,
like not
I need to
isekai
do that.
set, but like what's the word? Like they're all just duplicated. Like
Hmm.
the Otome game one where she has all the inner selves.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they're having a committee.
Yes, yes, that's
I need
exactly
you to
what I
do
have.
that. I need you to do that.
Need to find the space to get all of them out at the same time.
All at the same time for proof of
Hmm.
Williams.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
This one, I lit this one, I think, with continuous lighting instead of flashes. This was one of the first photos I did with continuous lighting. I bought some LED panels from Ziyun or Ziyun, and I was testing them out here, and I liked the result.
Yeah, I like the softness of it.
Mhm.
Oh, I love this
This
one.
photo, again, the same set with the windows. This is the only set I have, so I make as much use of it as possible. This one is also lit with continuous lighting. I just have one light in the background and I think one smaller light in the front to kind of fill in the shadows so you can see the details of her dress and her clothes.
I still like this one though. Like you don't like it's not obvious you're reusing the same pieces because you style them each differently, which is I think the smart way of doing set drops. I mean, I
Hmm.
need to eventually make mine since my set pieces didn't sell. So I can set up and actually take photos here for my stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just like how you frame and concept pieces, which is a question for later. So you're not off the hook
Okay.
there, but keep going.
This photo, I got this doll was painted by REDD, the artist who designed the diamond doll from earlier. And her painting is
Oh.
incredible. She is so good at painting tattoos. I think everyone should send their big hot guys to her for cool face tattoos. She's amazing at it.
You're one of the
When I
few
first
that like face tattoos.
Yeah, when I first commissioned her for it, she mentioned she was a little nervous about it, but she did such an amazing job. She is
Yeah.
incredible. And so this doll, I wanted him to look like a J-Rock guy from like a magazine from 2006 or something. So I took these photos.
I like how you use the black though, and then you have that fill in, like how you frame the
Hmm.
picture there though. I really like that a lot. I think that's really
Uh,
smart.
the nice thing about black backgrounds is you don't need a lot of space.
Nope. Nope.
So this is something you can do if you're like confined to a small apartment like I am.
Yep. It's true. I mean, that's
Mhm.
making it work. I mean, dolls are kind of nice because it is I'm just making sure no one's asking questions about. Oh wait, a new Liz is coming out?
A new what?
Liz? Is that Elizabeth?
Oh,
Sorry.
Liz and Elizabeth are two different
Okay.
dolls.
Okay. Awesome.
Mhm.
I was like, what? A new one already? She just was made. For anyone who doesn't know, she's William's sister, and that is my preferred face for a Williams is
Mhm.
Elizabeth.
Yep.
Um. All right. Are we? Is it the last one, or have you got one more?
Uh, there were a lot. You made me to do a bunch. Um, this doll was also painted by RDD, so he has a matching face tattoo. The lighting here is this is lit with like a laser for like I don't know a dance party. I stole this from my partner. He set this up for me. Um, and we just have it pointed shining down. And in order to see the lasers better, we also have a fog machine going, and that's why you can see swirls in the light. That's fog. And then there's like a fill light at the side that's a red color. If you ever want to do like fancy shoots with light, adding fog will make the light a lot more visible. So
Oh, that's right,
yeah.
huh?
Hmm.
Oh, that's interesting, but also a
Yep.
good point.
And they also make like little handheld fog machines now too that are portable, which is really nice. You don't need to lug
What?
around a giant brick anymore.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and
Technology,
they
man.
have like fans built onto them so you can turn the fog into haze instead. It's great.
That's great. All right. We got 2 minutes till ads. Is that the I thought this was the last one? Is oh no, the banana photo. All right. Shoot. Quick banana explanation.
I had some bananas at home because I was hungry, and then I saw them and I was like, you know what bananas are shaped like? They're shaped like a swing seat. And then I decided to take pictures of a doll on a banana swing. I, yeah.
Okay. That is the end of question two and
Hmm.
explanation. Oh, Kuro. um. Oh. Okay. We have the Williams, Water Williams, the Lolita, and then I love that one that you did of those the mask dolls. That was not my direction when I heard that. The banana. It's not a banana sling. It's a banana swing.
Yep.
Pun intentional. All
Hmm.
right. Well, we're gonna have ads in about a minute. When we come back, we will continue. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited. I love. I love Constance's art direction. So we're gonna dig a little bit deeper in how she does all this. What she like recommendations for other things. Um, and then we'll go into the live demo. How you doing, Constance?
Yep,
Is it how you
I'm
doing?
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep, it's not a feeling.
it can be a feeling.
Judge Judy would get upset. All right, I'm gonna start ads now. I'm gonna go get a refill of my drink, and then we will be back in 3 minutes.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna put us on the break screen, break screen. Okay, we are back. We have three more concept photos to go through that all have slightly different concepts, so I will let Constance explain while I go get myself a beverage.
Okay. So this shot, I actually put my doll in the water for this. So the water you see, that is real. Um, so something I discovered through a failed water shoot that I did before this one is that dolls don't move. And because they don't move, there aren't any ripples in the water when you put a doll in the water. And without any ripples, you actually cannot tell if something is in water very easily or not. So from taking that learning from a failed water shoot I did before this, for this shoot, my partner used a hair dryer to create the ripples on the water and create movement. And if not for that, this photo would probably look like he's lying in a bed of flowers instead of drowning in a river. Uh, so that's that. Um, the next photo, for this, I set up fake clouds. They are attached to a thin wire that goes around, wraps around the two models in the picture. So you can't see in this shot as much, but you can see a little bit of the clouds up here at the top. I have some other shots that are farther back where you can see more of the clouds. But the clouds are cotton, or not cotton, polyfill, the stuff you use inside pillows and stuffed animals, and it falls apart really easily. There's a lot of hot glue holding it together. I'm not sure if I would like to do clouds again using polyfill. It seemed like a great idea at the time, but in practice, not the greatest. I have one light in the background and one light in the front as fill. And yeah, that's it for this photo. And this last one, as you can tell, I am reusing the same set. The set has this optional bench that my partner made, which I thought was very clever. So when I don't need it, I can take it out. When I do need it, it fits nicely in front. And so I have these two girls set up, and in order to get the girl here on the right to a high enough position that she can put her head on the other girl's lap, she is actually sitting on a box. And her dress is big enough that it covers the box, and you don't know that I have a shipping box underneath there. And that's, I think, the last picture. Let's check. Yep, that's the last one. Do, 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 do. And if anyone has questions about any of these photos, drop it in the chat and I can attempt to answer. But
Okay.
unfortunately, most of my answers to questions will probably be like my explanation of the banana swing and simply, I was hungry, I saw a banana, it looked like a swing,
And
and
then you
that happened.
made the girl bananas. It was for the photo challenge though. Let's you didn't get really weird. The photo challenge of that month was was yellow. And I think
Oh,
the fruit
I
was
totally forgot
banana.
that.
It
How
was
do you
yellow.
get posing ideas? So for posing ideas, I look at a lot of other photography, fashion photography, cosplay photography, stuff like that, and then that gives me inspiration for doing my own photos. I definitely reference a lot of other work when I plan out stuff, so don't be afraid to do that. I know like a lot of artists are like, if you use references, you're cheating or whatever. But like all artists across all mediums use references.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to use references. They're fantastic.
Yeah. And there's websites for like quote unquote legal references. Um I mean, even cosplayers, when we build out our photos and stuff, we're using reference, right? Like it's
Hmm.
translating one idea to another medium and um as long as it's not like straight pilfering, right? Straight theft,
Hmm.
or running it through AI. Um, Referencing and learning techniques. I mean, a lot of I think your techniques, Constance, come from like magazine, like professional photography techniques that they use all the time. Like I can't point at one like this one photo here is definitely from this one Vogue thing. Um, the thing that kind of blows my mind is how much the landscape has changed with the access to the internet. Because if you think about it, all the fashion bits from Sailor Moon are high fashion. Like we can point to which Chanel or which Dior certain dresses are based off of. Like sometimes even the pose is straight up lifted. So if the greats can do it, you can do it. Just don't trace. Try to avoid the tracing.
Hmm.
And then if you do get like what were your references, it's okay to pull up like here is my vision board of the art piece and how I came to my interpretation of it. That's I think the most ethical way of approaching like art. But any other questions for Constance before we move on? And a lot of doll stuff can be translated to cosplay stuff as well. Um, it's very much about posing and blocking and using light. Okay. Um, so you talked a lot about your gear already, and you kind of process it through. What is your favorite gear to use? Like what's the go-to for you when you set up photos for your gear?
So these days, my main camera is an A7C2, and the lens I use the most often is a 60 millimeter macro lens. And yeah, that's basically what I use almost all the time. Sometimes I switch when I need like a wider angle view to get the background or something like that. I'll use a 35 millimeter. And if I need to compress the scene more and cut out a bunch of noise, I'll use a 100 millimeter macro. When I take pictures of people, I generally tend to use the same gear, except I don't need the macro as much, so I might condense my kit down by using zooms instead, zoom lenses. And my primary zoom lens is a 35 to 70, and my for on the long end, my primary zoom is 70 to 210. And I normally use those when I shoot cosplay. Um, for lights, I think back in the day, flashes were like the go-to. But these days, a lot of people also do video. I personally don't do video, but cosplayers like to make TikToks and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I have gotten some LED panels, continuous lighting, and with those, you can set stuff up, and cosplayers can like film their own videos if they want while you're like fiddling with your camera.
Taking the stills.
Hmm.
Okay. So for starting out, for people who just want to get a hang of photography, be it nature or like people or like just trying to figure out like their own hobby photography stuff, what do you recommend?
I think the best camera is the one that you have, which is like an overused phrase, but it's definitely true. I started with the family point and shoot, and once that one died, I moved on to something else. But it's definitely good to start with like the camera on your phone. And especially newer phones these days, they have multiple lenses built in. Like I think the iPhone has like three lenses or something. Um, and that gives you a lot of room to explore what you like. For landscape, you can use a wider angle lens. For portraits, you can use the telephoto. And once you feel like you're kind of being constrained by that, that's when I would go and buy a camera.
Sorry. I the cosplayers are now returning and thanking for the coverage. um Yeah, I think I like my. I have a DSLR, but my phone is so much more convenient, and there's like
Yeah.
room on my phone.
hmm Phones are super convenient. You always have them on you, so you might as well learn to use them and then use them to see if you enjoy photography or not.
Yeah, and it's definitely about capturing. I remember when the phone started to get really good. The Pro Togs were like, grumble, grumble, phone, grumble, grumble. Why is my phone taking better pictures than my lenses? Grumble, grumble, grumble. And it's always been a back and forth, right? A love hate relationship.
hmm Yep.
All right. As a cosplayer and a photographer, what are your essentials that you make sure you bring with you?
So since I used to cosplay, part of my photography kit is actually supplies for cosplayers. A lot of times during cosplay shoots, you there might be like a little bit of costume malfunction, and during that times it's nice if you have fashion tape or safety pins on you to help patch things up. Also, good things to have are hairpins, a hairbrush, lint roller, blotting paper for makeup. You don't need all of these things, but if an emergency happens, like you'll be glad you had it. For doll photography, it's pretty similar. For dolls, we don't usually use like human-sized hairbrushes. We use a toothbrush to brush out the hair, so that's doll-size hairbrush. I also carry putty for dolls because if you want your doll to hold something, you usually just stick it to their hand. And so I have a chunk of putty on the inside of my lens cap um,
Oh my
that
god.
I just pull out when I need, and that's been really convenient. And in addition to that, dolls sometimes get like dust on them because at the end of the day, the doll is like plastic stuff lint and stuff will get on them. So I have a big fluffy powder brush that I use to just brush off my doll's faces.
Yeah, it helps. Okay.
hmm
So, next question. The true question. And I know this gets some photographers heated. Flash or no flash?
So I do both. So I started out using only ambient lighting, the lighting that's available in the scene, plus like a reflector. And I think that taught me a lot about where light comes from and how to work with an existing scene. But once you do use external light, like a flash or an LED panel, the amount of control it gives you, like that power, man, I can't go back. Having that control is so nice. You don't have to worry about the sun moving away or the cloud getting in the way of the sun
Or the
and
leaves
messing
brushing
up,
away? The
yeah,
leaves
or
wiggling?
messing up what your setup is. So, yeah, I think definitely there is value in learning how to shoot in a scene. With the available light, but also if you want, if there's something very specific that you want and you have a very clear idea of the image that you want, having flashes or continuous lighting, LED panels, whatever you want, is very useful. So there's not really any like rules that I follow. It's just that if I feel I need a light, I will use one.
All right. Hi, Bob. Thank you for the huggies. Okay. Setting the scene. How do you get your ideas? I know Ghost asked a question about this, but a little bit deeper. Let's dig a little bit more. How do you get your ideas, and what is your method?
So I get a lot of inspiration from anime, video games, fashion, movies, books, and whatever. But a lot of times my ideas come spontaneously. I'll just be sitting around and I'll be like, yes, yes, and then I'll have an idea for something bizarre. Um, I think thinking about things you enjoy a lot is really helpful. I like to think about my dolls because I'm a doll collector, and I think about how each doll looks, like what kind of mood they have, and then that gives me ideas about what to do with them.
I love her. I love. I think we just got the news that Delpla. Speaking of Volks, I think the email came out like at 5 p.m. today.
Mm-hmm.
Delpla will be 2026 in Torrance, California. So, um, uh, I got to figure out how to get there. I was not having it on my con bingo list for next year. Now I'm like, well, shit. I want to go. I want to go have fun at like a vacation con.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I actually might live camp that one if I can get the figure it out. Take people around with
Ooh.
dolls. Okay. Next question. What programs do you use? Are there free ones for people who are learning?
So for editing, I use Adobe Lightroom Classic and Photoshop, but there are free options. So I use Lightroom. The free version of that is called Darktable.
Ooh.
There's also a similar one called Raw Therapy. I think Raw Therapy doesn't get as many updates as Darktable. Um, but they're both pretty powerful and very similar, have a very similar layout to Lightroom. So if you do want to switch over, I think your experience from one will transfer to the other.
Oh, that's good to know.
And for editing, Affinity, they used to be split up into like Affinity Publisher and Design, and like I forgot what the editing one is called, but now they're just like one big Affinity app. And Affinity is free to use, and I think it's also has like a Canva integration built in, which if you use Canva can be useful. So yeah, there are definitely free options out there. If you're on your phone, there are phone versions of Lightroom. I think that is free to use. I think you just need to log in. You just can't sync if you don't have a
Yeah.
subscription.
So Lightroom on the phone is free because I use it when I like take some phone photos and I'm like time to edit because frick you, Adobe.
Yeah, and there's also an Adobe Camera app that's available on iOS that I really like. Project Indigo. I think it produces more natural looking colors than the default iPhone app. Unfortunately, it's not out for Android yet. So on Android, I use an Android phone, but I have an iPhone in addition to that to play with for photos. But on my Android phone, I just use the default camera app, but I shoot in RAW so I can transfer it over into the Lightroom app and edit.
Shoot and raw. All right. Here's the difficult question, and your answer is not acceptable. What do you wish you had known when you first started? One thing you wish you would have known as a young photographer.
So that's really hard
Yeah.
because I don't feel there's like one most important thing that I wish I had known. Hmm.
Like what tip you wish you would have made your life so much easier back then? Or one thing you would say to yourself.
I think the one thing is something I already had, which is just enjoy what you're doing. If you have fun and doing what you're doing, then you'll want to continue, and that will in turn make you grow.
I like that answer. That is more of an appropriate answer. Okay. I heard there were rental services. Do you recommend?
Yeah, I definitely recommend trying out cameras and lenses before buying, especially like really expensive ones. Um, Cameras, I think, are a really personal choice. A lot of stuff is like going to depend on how many buttons you like, how you like your buttons laid out. I have really small hands, so I can't use a lot of the bigger cameras. I simply cannot reach the buttons with my tiny little fingers. So just because someone on the internet says, "Oh, this camera is great," that doesn't mean it's going to be a good match for you. So I always recommend people go to a store, play with the camera that they want to buy before buying it. Another option is that Yeah, like you mentioned, you can rent them. Camera stores usually have rental services. Online, there aren't as many rental services available anymore. I think most of them got bought up by Lens Rentals, but I've used Lens Rentals before. They're fine. There's also, I think, ShareGrid or Kit Split, where it's just individual people listing their stuff to loan out. So you can check out those sites or check out your local camera store.
Okay. So here is a loaded question because we just watched a whole bunch of cosplayers do their thing. Their costumes look amazing. They're super wonderful people. They love making other people happy through photography and like getting their photos snipped. Um, for people who have not gone to conventions or don't know how to ask, like they see this amazing cosplayer and they go running up to them. How should one ask for a photo?
I usually just say, "Hi, I love your costume. Can I get a picture of you?" And sometimes people say yes, sometimes people say no. For costumes where I think there's like a location nearby where I think it would be amazing to do an extended shoot, I might mention that to them. Like, hey, there's this cool location. I think it really suits your costume. If you have time this weekend, would you mind shooting with me? And I'll usually give them a little business card I have that just has my contact info on it and a link to my photo website and socials. And sometimes they get back to me, sometimes they don't. Sometimes some weird stuff happens and you get a story out of it.
Yes. Um, is Ted willing to come on to tell a story?
Uh, do you want to come on and tell a story? He says he's not good at stories. I don't know if you guys heard that.
No,
So
I
I
heard his typical
Like, I
grumble grumble.
definitely have lots of stories. I just am always bad at thinking about them on demand.
Okay,
he
well,
says he can't do them on demand. Maybe if you schedule another time with him with the questions prepared, he can prepare some stories.
I'll probably get Sojuns and Ted, and then I don't know. I'm too nervous to ask Bazooka. Would you think he'll do it?
I think he might be interested if he has time. The only thing
Okay.
is he's really busy because
Yeah, I
he
know.
also teaches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
I would have to go through you because I don't know him directly. He
mm.
terrifies me still.
Yeah, I can ask him for you.
um, get and then, well, I think you're one of the very few female photographers I know, though.
There are a few of us, I think.
Yeah, you forgot the thing where I said that I know and I'm comfortable with.
I think a lot of us are very retired that I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Masakocha is retired. Bunny is around.
Oh,
She's
okay.
still active. She runs a cosplayer management company now.
Oh, you're right.
Mhm.
Wait, does she work with Fruitcake,
I don't think so.
or
She
is she the
mainly
Taiwanese
works
one?
with like the Chinese
Okay.
cosplayers and staffing like Honkai events and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Hmm. I think I'm too small for her to want her to come on and interview, though.
Mm.
I'm too small fry. Too small beans. Because I'm just because there's Sanji, you, Jet, when Jet like wants to do photography.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, do you know Chica?
Chica, yeah, I know Chica,
Mhm.
but I lost contact with her. Like, well, I don't want to say lost contact. No longer in the same social circles and actively engaged.
Mm.
So I don't want to pop out of the blue and be like, "Hey, Chica."
Oh, do you know Shin?
Which Shin?
Her username is like Silverx or something like that.
No,
Cylverxc.
I don't know that Shin.
Okay, so Silverx is still active.
Okay. I might have you bridge and see if
Hmm.
they're willing to talk about the cosplay experience with photography. But
Hmm.
I don't know. Even looking at Fanime, who was there photographing.
I don't know any of the new
Yeah.
photographers that are wandering around that con. I am too old.
Well, I don't think there were that many though. Everyone popped up their TikTok. Like even in
No,
photographer.
they're the guys with like the carts full of gear that's set
Yeah.
up in like the photog alley.
Yeah, even then, it was all the usual suspects for the most part and a couple new faces.
There were a bunch of new faces. I didn't know anyone.
Well, I know I saw the person I can't name because I don't know his photography name anymore. And then there was Kai and Blizzard, um, Sojourns, Eurobeat. Um, I saw a couple new ones, but I don't think Alfie was there either. So, I mean, no, I think Alfie was there. Never mind, that's a lie. Alfie was there. But even even the number of like usual photographers I used to see, there weren't that many in Photographer Alley. Or
Hmm.
maybe it's just the times I went.
I don't know. I saw a bunch. I just didn't know most of them.
Okay, maybe I was just like, I don't know you, so you don't exist to me, and I just dead face them. I mean that is something I will do. Um, but even then, there was no female photographers. Um,
Hmm.
I can't think of a single female photographer that wasn't cosplaying and setting up their own stuff that was there.
Hmm.
Um, because I mean, I personally feel safer with a female photographer if I don't really know the person. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a safety thing.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, I've known Spooky for as long as I've known you because he hung around the Sauce Crew. Um, I actually think I know Spooky longer than you, Constance.
Probably.
um, but I'm just trying to think. Yeah, like it's definitely definitely rare. So as being a girl, or femme presenting, I should say, we do get away with a lot more like weird stuff. Like we can just say, "Hey, your picture would look great over here in this dark alley. Come over here." Um, Not anymore, at least, but the amount of times during ALA I would go down the alleyways. What did Spooky say?
I did not hear.
Okay. I thought I heard the grumble of like murmur, murmur, murmur. Um, but do you remember between the ALA Marriott and the ALA Hyatt, like
Oh, I
that
was
alley?
saying sometimes people will go with me down into the dark alleys, and it was always surprising when I don't know them.
But how long ago was that? Like, are we talking the early 2010s or are we talking about now?
Yes,
That is not an
Early
answer.
2010s or now?
like 2009.
Okay. So I feel like we were much more risk takers as millennials back then. And we're like,
Hmm.
cool, dark alley, let's do it. Let's make art. Whereas I feel now everyone's a little bit more cautious ish and quick to say creeper for right like I don't want to say right or wrong reasons, but there is a sense of like maybe you shouldn't go down this random person you just met in San Jose down an art dark alley to take really nice photos. Like maybe that is a bad idea. Maybe San Jose has high trafficking and you probably shouldn't do that. And make sure your friends know where you are 24/7. Um we did a lot of stuff, Constance, didn't we? We did a lot of
Yeah.
questionable stuff.
Hmm.
We are lucky we are okay. um but then again, I also flirted with a guy who thought he was Yakuza and could hunt demons in the pool jacuzzi of ALA one year. And probably high
Wow.
off his kite. Yeah. Yeah, it was something else.
What a time.
It was wild. So oh yeah, and he made six figures selling anime gear and merchandise.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was something. Um but yeah, I feel like the vibe's a little bit different. I know you were talking to Bazooka about it when we were at Fanime.
Hmm.
I'll be curious to see like what Sojan talks about, but also Sojan doesn't shoot I think at cons like not as much at cons anymore, like how we used to just run off and take photos and stuff. So
Hmm.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Um, as we all take a trip down memory lane of the stupidity of our youth. Um, okay. So, submitted doll question. Oh, yeah, you actually got a submitted doll question? Someone asked a question?
Yeah,
Yay! Any more coming or
I think that's it.
that's it? Okay. I got really excited. Um, okay, submitted doll question. How does posing dolls affect your photography, especially since certain dolls have limited mobility compared to, say, a human model?
Yeah, so with doll photography, you really need to consider the limits of what the doll can do. But just because a doll can do a lot doesn't necessarily make them a good model either. Some dolls are jointed in really weird ways, so that even if they can perform a huge range of motion, they look really unnatural. So for me, my preference is always to have a doll that looks more natural compared to can do more. And I don't think I really go crazy with the poses. Some people do like crazy action shots. I don't do that sort of thing. So for me, the limited motion isn't a big deal, as long as the doll looks good doing whatever limited stuff it can do. One thing that's really important with dolls compared to with a person is that your doll might not be able to hold a pose without falling over. And in that case, I have to put the doll in the stands. And so a big difference between doll photography and human photography is that I always have to like hide the stand the doll is standing on or Photoshop it out later. So that's like a little bit extra work. The upside is that your doll will not get tired and complain to you about holding the pose. Um, so that there's an upside too.
Sorry, I just started laughing because I am one of those people who are like, oh, I'm so weak. What is core? What is
Same
core?
here.
Okay.
And
If
it's always
there
like the weird poses that you have to do as a
yeah,
cosplayer that look the best in camera.
JoJo
And
poses.
yeah. Or sometimes it's just like you look completely normal, but you're like holding your body in a really bizarre way, and it's really
Mm-hmm.
tiring. The result
Sucking
looks great,
tummy,
but like
shoulders
it
back,
sucks.
chin
Yeah,
chin
yeah,
snatched.
yep.
It's a thing. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, we have now entered the last phase of the interview process. Um,
Okay.
we are in demo mode. Unless anyone in chat has any questions about photography or anything else we talked about today, I wanted to give you guys a couple minutes to see if there's anything we didn't cover you want to talk about. Constance is currently using Lightroom um, and working off. Is it your raw catalog?
Yep.
Yep. So she's working off her raw catalog. I do have the screen kind of mush, so you can't see everything because there's some ugly buttons from having the screen capture this way. So if you do have any questions about like what she's doing or what the tools are available, just feel free to drop a question in chat. Um, I will be posting this on YouTube, so if you're watching it at a later time and you want to skip to this part, I will probably timestamp the demo. Um, and I think that is everything. So Constance, if you just want to, can you do it in 20 minutes or are we gonna have to take a pause between the ads?
Um, well, we can see where I end up.
Okay. So tell us about this photo first.
Okay, this photo is of my Volks Williams. He was a special auction model from Dalpa, and his doll was designed to look like Napoleon. I don't know that he actually looks like Napoleon, but we'll pretend that yes.
Close enough. Assignment is close enough.
Mhm. And so this photo is lit from the back with one light and then another light in the front to fill. This is a common light setup that I have. And ideally, I would have had a third light to light the background, but I think the fill light was able to catch enough of the background that it's lit okay.
All right. Go forth and show us your editing powers.
Okay. So when I edit, the first thing I like to do is to make the photo correct in air quotes. So like make the photo look as normal as possible, as close to what I saw with my eyes while taking the photo as possible. And then once the photo is correctish, then I'll start making the artistic edits. And in order to do that, I have these panels on the right in Lightroom in a custom order. You can reorder these by right-clicking and choosing Customize Develop Panel. So if you see some of these that are normally at the bottom and they're at the top, that's why. So the first thing I usually fix is in the detail panel. If there's a lot of noise, I go and fix that. This photo doesn't actually have that much noise, so I can skip over this one. Don't need to do that. The next thing I usually do is lens corrections. So for lens corrections, this is really important to me when the picture has a lot of straight lines. Like in some of the photos I showed, I have the background with the windows. And so if your lens has distortion, your windows might curve out or curve in a bit. And this is where I would fix that. I also use this panel to fix any fringing from my lenses. So if they have chromatic aberration, like some purple or green on the edges, I use this panel to fix that. This particular lens doesn't really have that, and I don't really have any straight lines in this picture either that I have to worry about, so we can skip this panel as well. And last one is transform. This is also to fix perspective problems. So if you, for example, have a picture of a building, you shot it from the bottom of the building, and then the top of the building looks narrower in the picture than the bottom, you would use this transform panel to fix that. And once again, I don't have that in this picture, so we can skip over that. And that brings us over to this basic panel. So the first thing I'm gonna fix to make the picture correct is the white balance. And so normally when I shoot, I have my camera set to a specific white balance. I know a lot of people prefer to use white balance on their camera. The reason why I don't use that is because if I'm shooting a set of photos, I usually like to edit one photo first. And then after I edit that one photo, I'll copy those settings over to my other photos. If you have auto white balance on, it'll adjust your white balance depending on what's in the frame. So your white balance will actually be a little bit different from shot to shot. And that makes it a little bit more of a pain to copy your settings over. So I'll just have my camera set to one white balance, and oftentimes I won't fix it for the shoot because fixing white balance is an easy thing in post. So I just have it set to like sunlight or whatever all the time. So that's why the white balance in this photo is completely wacky. So I'm gonna first start out by setting the white
Ooh.
balance to auto to try to fix it. And so this is what auto thinks the white balance should look like. It's not totally right, but it's a good starting point. I think it's a little bit green, so I'm gonna make it a little bit more magenta. And let's see, is it blue or yellow? I'm not really sure.
I
I'm
think,
gonna set it a little bit more blue,
yeah.
but I think it's really close, so that might be good enough. Next thing to fix is he has this feathered hat, and these feathers in the corner are super blown out. And these flowers, white flowers in the background, are also super blown out. So normally I would fix that by adjusting either highlights or whites. Here I'm going to try highlights first. I think highlights is fixing it pretty well. So we can see the details and the feathers come back a little bit, and some of the details in the flowers. So that I think looks pretty good. Um, so looking at the histogram, I have some solid whites, not a lot, so that's okay. I don't have any solid black. I usually like for my histogram to cover the entire range, so I might deepen the blacks a little bit more, so I cover a little bit of the low spots. Yeah. So I have a little bit of solid black, not too much. You don't want to, unless that's like your goal, you don't want to blow out your whites or completely crush your blacks. And I think that's looking pretty normal, pretty much like what I was looking at through the camera. So I'll just go through the rest of the sliders to see what I need. This outfit I think is really cool. It has a lot of detail, so I'll add a little bit of texture to make it pop a little more. I don't think I need clarity or dehaze, and I'm pretty happy with the saturation of this photo, so I won't touch these either. So next thing I'll go over to is calibration, because the skin tones are looking a little messed up. I don't know if you guys can tell, but
It's a
the
little.
Sony camera that I shoot with, um, normally Sony is not great as skin tones. I feel like they're always a little bit green. Canon cameras usually are really nice with the skin tones. Back when I shot Canon, I didn't have to fix anything. So I'm gonna take this green, make it drag it towards blue a little bit, and I think the color is a little healthier. But since you guys are watching through a stream, I don't know if you can actually like see the
It's
difference.
actually it actually can pick up a bit more, at least on my end, like
Okay,
watching you
nice.
cast.
Yeah. And so I think the skin tones are fixed. I don't really want to fix anything else. So done with calibration. And so between basic and calibration, I think everything looks pretty normal. Nothing's really weird or standing out to me. So now we can make the artistic edits or whatever. Um, so I could go back into the basic and the calibration panels to make artistic edits, but I don't think there's anything there I need. So I'm just going to go ahead to the tone curve now. And so right now, I think the contrast is a little bit high for what I'm going for. So I'm going to lower the contrast with the tone curve by, first I'll put a point in the middle, and then I'll make the darks a little lighter and the brights a little darker, and that will decrease the contrast. If you want to increase the contrast, you can make your darks darker and the lights brighter, and that will do the opposite of what I just did. And I think that's okay. So next thing, moving on to the color mixer. I think this green leaf is kind of distracting. That might just be me, but I don't like it. So I'm going to make it a little less distracting by using the hue saturation luminance tool to decrease the saturation on green a little bit. So now it's kind of looking less like it's standing out.
Mhm.
So when I edit a photo, I usually try to like focus on a few colors plus like an opposite color. So let me show you like on a color wheel, this photo has like a lot of gold, orangey tones. So that's like on this side of the wheel. And then like a green is all the way over here. So I feel like green is just popping out and being distracting because it's not part of this color. And then sometimes I might do some opposite undertones like a complementary color just for contrast. So green is not one of these colors I'm focusing on, and it's not one of the complementary colors, so I'm gonna decrease the saturation on that to make this leaf less annoying. I feel like this gold is a little bit bright compared to everything else in the foreground, so I'm gonna go into luminance to decrease the brightness on yellow. And now that's a little less distracting. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. I could go into saturation and give the skin tone a little bit of a bump. Skin tone's usually orange or red, so I'll give it a bump like that. You can also use this dropper tool to pick any part of the scene and drag up and down to change stuff. That's more convenient if you don't know what color channel your color is in. Sometimes things look like they're like an obvious color, but then they turn out to be something else. So this tool is really useful when you're not sure, or when your change doesn't make the change that you expect it to. So I think I am happy with the color mixer. Next stop is color grading. So color grading, usually the panel looks like this with the three circles. I don't like using them like that, so I focus on one circle at a time. Uh, so there's one for shadows, one for midtones, and one for highlights. Um, Let me think. For this picture, I might give it some blue shadows. So I'll go select this shadow circle. And some people like to drag the circle around, like the dot around inside here to select the color and the
Ooh.
saturation at the same time. I think that's really hard to use. Um, so you can also adjust over here. And then if you pay attention, when I select the hue, it'll move the dot on the outside of the circle to the color that you want. So I want blue. Let's see, maybe a little over there. So after you select the color that you want, then you can adjust the saturation separately, and that will move this dot inwards or outwards from the center. So if I use this, the background will get a little bit of a blue tint. And it's really easy to go overboard using this tool. So sometimes I don't use the mouse and I just click on the thing and use the plus minus buttons on the keyboard because it'll get you slightly finer adjustments. And some people really like to have photos with like this faded look where the black isn't black, but it's like kind of grayish or like gray with a tint. And this place would be where you would do that. In the shadows, you can use the luminance slider to bring up the blacks. That's
Oh.
not what I'm going for here, but if that's a look you like, then you can do that here. So I have my shadows adjusted to be a bit blue. I'm not sure I want anything else. I think I'm happy. But if you wanted to add a tint to your midtones or to your highlights, you could do that too. What's really common is that people make the highlights one color and then the shadows another color that are like complementing. So usually like highlights are yellow and shadows are blue, or shadows are yellow and highlights are blue. This is where you would do it. So I'm good with that. And down here we have effects. You can add a vignette using this tool, or do the opposite of a vignette and
Just the white
make
thing.
the edges white. Yep. Like send him to heaven or send him to hell, your choice. Um, I think he looks kind of depressed, so I'm going to make the edges a little bit darker. Um, to adjust midpoint around this, I find it's kind of hard to see what you're doing sometimes. So what I'll do is I'll take the feather slider and slide it to 0. And without the feathering, you can see exactly where the edges of the vignette are. And then
Oh.
that will allow you to adjust the midpoint and the roundness shape much more easily. And then after
Okay.
you're done with that, you can add the feathering back in, and then we're good. So when you do add the vignette and make it darker, the feathers over here got darker with it. But I kind of liked those bright, so I'm gonna bring the highlights back, which is what that was, over here. So we have our feathers are still bright even though the edges are dark. You can also add film grain if you really want to be hipster.
Yeah, I say that that's the hipster cosplayer, especially with the
Yeah,
overblown exposure.
yeah. hmm I don't really need the film grain, so I'm good here. And the last thing is this new lens blur tool. I'm
Oh.
not going to use it, but it will allow you to adjust the bokeh in the background. Mine is kind of like all smooth, and I don't have any like clear bokeh balls, so I can't show you the effect, but it'll let you change like the circles to be more bubbly or to like have the aperture blades
Oh.
showing more. It's a pretty cool new feature. I haven't really used it much, but if you have a picture that has those bokeh balls, then you can play with this
Oh, that's
and
interesting
have
that
a
it
lot of
auto
fun with
picks
it.
up on it.
hmm Okay, so I have all my basic adjustments done. I just want to give his clothes a little bit more pop. So I'm gonna come here to, what is this tool called? The masking tool. Um, and the masking tool is pretty cool because it can do auto selection now. Back in the day, I've been using Lightroom for like
Ever.
10, 15 years. I don't know. It's a long time.
Back when you could pay
And
for
back
it.
in yeah, back in the day, if you wanted to select something, you had to paint it in with a brush. But now you can be like, oh, the Lightroom knows there's a person, and you can automatically select the whole person, which that feels like cheating, but it's so nice. So I want to make his clothes pop, and they have a clothes option here. But the option, for whatever reason, doesn't include his hat. So I think I'm gonna select the entire person first and create a mask for that. And then I'll just subtract his face out of it. Because you can do that in masking now, which you couldn't do a long time
Huh.
ago. So
Interesting.
I'll just select the person again, and this time I'll just get rid of all his facial features. I'll leave his hair. So, and now I have all of his clothes and his hair selected, but not his face, or mostly not his face. It's a little confused, but I don't think it'll be noticeable in the final result. And so to give his clothes a little bit more pop, gonna add a little bit more texture and maybe just a tiny bit of clarity. Clarity is really easy to overdo. I try not to go over 5 or 10, uh, just because anything more than that, it looks kind of janky. So yeah, I think we're done in Lightroom. And normally what I would do after this is I would open this picture in Photoshop and just clean up all these stray hairs. But I'm not going to bore you with that. Uh,
The super intense
that
extra things.
that's just like really boring. You take the Photoshop remove tool and you paint over every hair one at a time.
Slow and painful.
Yeah. So I think we're done.
Okay. So any questions? You actually made it to the I can snooze as breaks.
Yay!
Um all right. Any questions for Constance?
Oh, and
Um
if you guys want to see the before and after,
oh yeah, show the
there's
before and
this.
after. So that was the photo
I
raw from the camera and then after edits.
Yeah, I don't know if like the white balance edit really should. I think I'll make it so that we can see it after. Oh, that was the wrong button. Okay,
There
there we go.
we go.
There. I don't know if
I
it's
don't
doing
think you
the
did
right thing.
that.
Oh, wait.
You did
Then I
something.
go back here. There we go.
There we go.
Now
Okay.
you can see it. Yes, because with the white balance super off,
Mm-hmm.
you can't really see the rest of the edits that have been done. So I set the before to after we fix the white balance.
Yeah. Though
There we
I
go.
think the one right out of your camera is a better show though of like what your camera took versus
Yeah, yeah,
um all the way
definitely
to
a
that.
big, much more dramatic difference.
Yeah. But this is also the white balance correction after that. So I'm gonna snooze that.
Mhm,
Ha, Lila, welcome back. I hope you sang really good and you did all the big
mhm,
things while you're doing your thing today.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's amazing how much gets hidden under I don't want to call it no like camera noise, but you tires, it's okay. You can be tired. You should go bed. I'm gonna snooze ads so we don't so I can just read your out. Oh, I said tried. I read tired. I can read. I'm in graduation school. uh, but yeah, uh, this VOD will be posted on the YouTubes. I will have it there. It's Life of the Cosplayer, episode 3, photography edition. So this will be the last one of the year. So thank you, Constance, for doing this, for humoring, for putting yourself out here and getting yourself recorded. I think she is a wealth of knowledge. Did you want to drop your socials, Constance? I
Uh,
don't know how much how much perceiving you wanted.
You can drop my Instagram if you want.
I don't have it on this computer, so you'll need to drop it yourself.
Okay, let me pull that up. Doo, doo, doo.
Constance doesn't stream. Constance only lurks in the shadows. Yes, raid time. Do you have a pretty chill streamer bot just to keep this the same mellow vibe? I haven't looked to see who's streaming right now. Oh, I was hoping to find links. There we go. The X-Wing. Let me go check them out. Send you guys to another cozy person. Oh, VTuber debut, Astrobot. Oh, Astrobot's a good one. Okay. Oh, they're a little Minecrafty character VTuber thingy. Okay, okay. That's cute. Astrobot is actually a pretty chill game. Okay, we'll send there. Oh, she was okay. Just done debut, now playing Astrobot. Okay. Yeah, we'll go vibe over there. I'm just gonna do a quick raid and run. 'Cause I am tired. But I will probably be in the Discord playing a game downstairs on the PlayStation and with the doggies. Even though I wasn't competing with them during Hollymat, I was so stressed out for them. I could feel the amount of stress boiling in me with every delay, knowing how crazy it was backstage. They are all currently drinking and or sleeping at this point of the night, so I am happy for them. They also enjoyed hearing us, so yay. Constance, any final words before we raid out?
I think I'm good. Have a good night, everyone.
She's like, I'm done. All right, so we're gonna raid. Send you guys over there. Just taking a quick look. They look really cute. I like the little Minecraft VTuber box thingy mabobber. I don't know what to call the Minecraft, but Astrobot should be a pretty chill game. So I'll send you all over there. Give them lots of love. I probably won't. I'll try to go with, but hold on. Let me. Here we go. Make sure I can come with. It will auto timeout, wouldn't it? Oh, okay. All right, there we go. All right. Love y'all. Take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with the love for tea. All right, big kisses. Good night.